What's shaking, Aubrey? How's everything going?
Oh, great. It's a pretty busy summer over here. What about you, Lindsay? You have a lot going on this summer.
Oh, I have a lot going on this summer. Yes, it is a busy summer. I feel like just all of 2022 and 2023 has been a lot going on. I'm not sure when it
Jam-packed.
stops. I don't know. It just never
We don't
stops.
know
My
when
life is
it'll slow
crazy now.
down. I know with kids getting out of school, you think, oh, things will slow down. And then it doesn't. It picks up and there's more going
Never.
on and it's never ending.
Yeah. So, what are we getting into today,
So
Aubrey?
we have this great question from Zach Bitar about
Mhm.
a few versus a lot. We're going to read that and share that we have talked about few and a few. So we'll share those episodes and we're going to dive into a lot today.
Okay. I'll go ahead and read Zach's question. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, guys. I've been listening to All Ears English for about 3 years. Oh, that is so good.
Yes.
And I really have learned a lot from you guys. I definitely don't miss anything from the three shows. And he listens to all three
I
shows,
love that this is
Aubrey.
all three shows, as you should, right?
That is fantastic. From the three shows, I love them. I love the way you teach us as non native speakers. Your philosophy has become mine too. Connection, not perfection. I love that.
Yes.
So here's the question. I would like to ask about the difference between few and a few, lot and a lot, and how we can use them. I want to thank you by name, Lindsay, Michelle, Aubrey, and Jessica. And this is from again, Zach Bitar. What a lovely listener.
I know. I love, first of all, that he listens to all three shows
Yeah.
because even if he's not preparing for IELTS, there's so much great vocab, idioms, and stuff to learn over at IELTS Energy. And the
Yeah.
Business English podcast, too. All three of our shows are amazing. You should be listening to all three.
Yes, I think we can officially give Zach Bitar the super listener status,
Yes.
right? Because he's listening to all three shows. We can also call super listeners those who have listened to all episodes of any one show or those who listen regularly to all three shows. It goes out and it goes down. I love it. So good.
Yes, I know. It's kind of fun to have that super listener title, right? It's the best. We love our fans. We love you guys.
Yes, we do. All right. So have we already, again, you said we've already talked about a few, right?
Yes. So we want to have you guys go and check out these two episodes if you've missed them. The first one is 1785, where we talked about the difference between a couple, a few, and several. So don't miss that one. You can find it on our blog or wherever you find your podcasts.
Mhm.
And then also, All Ears English 1380, we were talking about job interviews and we talked about few versus a few. It's called A Few Tips to Add a Little Polish to Your Job Interviews. And as a quick review, because this is really answering Zach's question, there is a difference here. And you can create confusion or mistakes if you use the wrong one. So don't miss that, episode 1380. But really briefly, Lindsay, what's the difference
Yes.
between a few and few?
Okay, so breaking it down here, Aubrey, here we
Yeah.
go. And again, this is from 1380, but we'll just quickly review it. So a few typically means we said in that episode between 3 and 5
Mm-hmm.
items.
Yeah. Less than
Okay.
that would say a couple, right? A few, three to
Yeah,
five.
yeah, yeah. Although personally, I really kind of, to be honest, I kind of interchange them a couple and a few. Maybe I'm doing that wrong. I don't
Well,
know.
no, you're right. There is a little bit of flexibility, right?
There
So for
is.
details, because we go into that in 1380, this is a very general
Yeah.
description, right? Usually a few is like 3 to 5, but the big
Yeah.
difference is few without that article
Right.
the meaning
Mm-hmm.
changes a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. How does it change, Aubrey? What do
So
we need
there
to
it
know?
means not very many and it means less than you'd expect. So we
Right.
talk about how if you say, I have few qualities that will be good for, in a job interview, that's
Yes.
a huge mistake because you're saying, I don't have very many qualities. I have less than you'd expect.
That would
That's a
be a
problem.
huge mistake.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, good point. Okay, good. So guys, go back, listen to that again, especially if you have a job interview coming up, and make sure you get that right. Super important. Good.
Yeah. So let's dive into
Yeah.
lot and a
Mhm.
lot here today.
Yes.
There is a common mistake that we're going to share here. I'm just going to share it now. We see students make this mistake when writing quite a bit, and that is to write the word a lot as one word,
Yes.
ALOT. You'll see this.
Yes.
It does
Yes.
not exist. It never
Right.
exists as one word like this, always separated, two words, as your article, and then lot. You're going to see this. Native English speakers make this
Oh,
mistake
yeah.
too. It only matters when you're writing because they sound the same when you're speaking.
Right. I think I made this mistake, like, until my first year in high school or something,
Yeah, it's
right? Like,
pretty
you d
common.
yeah, it's pretty common, but we need to know it today, now, and moving forward, guys, and you will not make this mistake, okay?
Exactly. Right. So let's go into
Mhm.
lot. It's used in two ways, rather.
Okay.
First, as a pronoun. It means
Mhm.
a large number or amount, a great deal.
Yeah.
So, how would we say that? Give us an
Okay.
example, Lindsay.
All right. A lot of teams play on Saturdays.
Yes.
And, in the colloquial way, you might hear a lot of teams play
Yes.
on Saturdays, right?
LOTTA is what it sounds like. A lot of
Yes.
teams, we
Yes.
just say it very quickly.
A lot of teams. Mhm. You got it.
And
Yeah.
you have to think about the other options, the synonyms here. If you say like a great deal of teams or
Ugh.
a large number or a large amount of teams, these sound
Ooh.
strange to us. They're just a little too formal
We
for
don't like
just
those.
casual conversation. When you're talking about sports teams, you're going to say a lot of teams,
Yeah,
a
it's
bunch of
actually
teams.
this is a very much a connection word because it's so simple, it's so casual, it's so human, right? As you
Yes.
said, when you said those other examples, a great deal of teams, it sounds way too formal. It
Right.
puts me on another level. It's almost like I'm writing a novel or a dictionary from the 1900s or something.
Right. It no
Uh,
longer sounds like casual conversation. It's
yeah.
out of place there.
Yes. Okay. What
So you
else,
might
Aubrey?
say, if you're talking about a film, you might say, there are a lot of well known actors in this movie, right? Some of
Mhm.
those star studded movies, meaning there are like a bunch of A list actors that are really fun to watch. You just say,
Yeah.
oh, there are a lot of well known actors in this film.
It's kind of interesting. Every once in a while, there's a movie that comes out that just has like 15 huge actors. Like, how did they have such a
How do they get
payroll?
them
Yeah.
all? I
Like, how do they
know.
afford all those? How do they get them all in the, normally it's like one, two, three, four big actors, but sometimes you get like 15 in a movie.
So
It's
many. I
crazy.
know,
Yeah.
which is really exciting, but I agree. I'm like, how do they afford to pay all of them? One of my favorites like that is called 13 Conversations About One Thing. Have you seen that film? It has
I've
like a
heard
bunch
about
of
it.
famous actors and it's really
Yes.
cool. It's one of those like New York, I Love You and Paris, Je
Yes.
t'aime, where it's all of these different people and it's showing how their lives are touching in different ways.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it kind of all comes together at the end where there's sort of some surprising things where,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't realize this was this person's
Yeah.
sister or whatever. It's kind of fun.
Kind of similar to Love Actually in that sense where they bring
Yes,
it
for
together at
sure.
the end, you realize these people are connected or through the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about how to use a lot as a pronoun. And guys, remember it's separated. Okay. It's not a lot, it's a lot. Okay. We put a space in between two separate
Exactly. Not
words.
when we're speaking,
Yes.
but when we write it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, yes, it's also used as an adverb. This is the second way. Same meaning, a great deal or much, but the grammar is just
Hmm.
a little bit different. So, you might say, she played tennis a lot this year. It means she played it a great deal. She played it many hours.
Right. We can put it at the end. So I liked that movie a lot. And period. Just ending the movie there. Very
Yeah.
common.
And
Very
just like
common.
the pronoun usage, it would be strange to say, I liked that movie a great deal. It means
Ugh.
the same thing, but we just
No.
don't speak that formally. We will often say a
Yes.
lot.
No, it really puts you on another it really prevents connection when we try to be that formal, you know?
Yeah, exactly what it's
Yeah,
especially with this the kinds of examples we're giving you where you're talking about sports and movies, we stay so casual.
stay
So this
casual.
is the option you wanna go with a lot.
Mhm, 100%, and we've already talked about that common mistake. A lot of people, a lot of native speakers, even if you see it, it's not right, it's not one word, right?
Yeah,
Separate those as 2 separate words.
exactly, and you don't even notice yourself using it. You're saying a lot of people, a lot of native speakers. Like, we
Yes.
we don't even really to say, like, many is not that much more formal, but we are so much more likely to say a lot of instead.
Yeah, I think many does feel a little bit more
Just
formal
enough
than
more
me. Just
formal that we always opt
Just
for a
doesn't
lot of
feel
instead.
right, right? There are many well-known actors in this movie. What's the feeling that you get? It
Just a little more formal, like
there's
you're
still
putting
that
up just a little bit
disconnection.
of a wall. Yeah.
A wall. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Interesting. Okay, Aubrey, where do we go next?
Yeah. So I want to point out really quickly, this is just interesting that the word a lot also exists as a verb. It's spelled a little
Okay.
bit differently,
Oh, yes.
Allot. It means to give a portion to someone as a share or task. Like you might hear, equal time was allotted to each speaker at a conference, if we're talking about how much time like the different speakers are going to take. And that
Yes.
is where it is one word, but there's an extra L. So this is a little bit tricky that this
Yes.
sounds exactly the same, but it's a different verb.
Ooh, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, allotted, was allotted. Interesting.
Yeah, and it is a little more formal because you can say given, right? Equal time was given to each speaker,
Yeah.
but if someone is trying, wants to sound a little more professional, a little more formal, like in that type of situation, introducing a keynote speaker or as part of a presentation, you may hear this verb that, time was allotted. And yeah, just to sound a little more professional.
Yeah, and a key, I could see our listeners getting tripped up here in listening, right? It might sound like someone is saying a lot when you hear
Right?
allotted to. And so now that you're aware, guys, of this other word, something is
Mhm.
allotted to something else, you can start to understand when, obviously allotted is going to be a lot less common,
Right.
right?
And it's interesting to think about, we rarely use it in, the active voice. It's usually passive like this.
Was
Time
allotted
was
to.
allotted to someone.
Yeah.
We're not gonna say like, "I am going to allot a certain amount of time to the speakers." We just don't use it that way. We would say assign or give.
Yeah. Yeah, so now you know what you're looking for
Right.
when you're listening, guys, and that'll improve your listening dramatically. So good. And another thing, by the way, Aubrey, before we jump into our role play today that would improve our listeners' listening skills is using the app, right, to listen to this podcast. So this podcast is also available in an iOS or Android app, and it's just a way to go deeper because when you use the app, you actually see the transcripts right there if you're a subscriber on your phone. It's amazing, Aubrey. You don't have to check a PDF or check your email or
Yes.
check a piece of paper. How
It's
cool
so
is that?
easy. Yes, and to get vocabulary, this
Yeah,
verb "a lot" is a good example. That's going to be highlighted as a keyword today. You get another example, you get the definition so that you come away with a really clear understanding and add it to your vocabulary list right there within the app so that
yep.
you can be even more familiar, use it, have it really easily accessible.
Exactly. I mean, we know which words are going to bring you up to that near native fluency, guys, that 99% fluent level, and
Yep,
we select those for you, right? So those words that you see in the transcript are tappable. Those keywords that we know are going to make you more fluent, you can save them and put them in that list. So good.
absolutely. Let's dive into a role play
Okay.
here. This is a fun
Yes.
one. You and I are making s'mores at a
S'mores.
campout.
Yes, if our listeners were in our Connected Communicator course, they know all about s'mores because we did a whole
Yes.
lesson on s'mores. It was so fun. Let's
They're
do it. Let's do it.
delicious.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start us out. I thought I brought a few bags of marshmallows, but I can't find them.
Well, here's one. It's open, but it has a lot left.
Great. I have a lot of chocolate bars too.
And I bought graham crackers. There's not a lot, but it should be enough. Okay, Aubrey,
Nice.
important question. What is your opinion on what kind of chocolate should be used in s'mores?
I always use Reese's peanut butter cups.
What? Okay, well, that I have very mixed feelings. I don't know how to handle what you just said because you're supposed to use Hershey's,
I know.
but I love Reese's peanut butter cups, so I don't know what to do right now.
Have you ever tried one with a Reese's peanut butter cup?
No, I will have to try it. I'll
You're
have to
never
think
going to go
outside of the
back.
box.
You'll never go back, Lindsay. It's so good. It's delicious.
That is so I it might be I might just have to change my
I
whole
may have just
thinking.
changed your world. I hope you guys are watching this on YouTube so you can see the genuine
I'm
reaction Lindsay had
shocked.
when I said that. You're like, "What?"
So good. It's
That's so
so
good.
good. Because in the course, Connected Communicator, we do talk about how you have to use Hershey's chocolate. It's just that is s'mores,
That's
but
the only
now I'm
option.
reevaluating everything.
Right? You can use anything. All right, let's go through this. So I first used a few to just kind of show the difference because the question was kind of asking to compare. We've covered a few in previous episodes, but because, I have, maybe 3 bags of marshmallows, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say a lot of bags of marshmallows. So I say, I
No.
thought I brought a few bags of marshmallows, but I can't find them.
Right. A lot would be more applicable if you back your car in, you open your trunk, and you've got bags,
100 bags of
trunk
marshmallows.
full
I've
of
got a
that.
lot of
Wow,
marshmallows.
you brought a lot of marshmallows.
Yes.
I don't know why, but you brought a lot of them. Yeah. So that's just clearly the difference there. Let's see. And then I said, here's one. It's open, but it has a lot left. So meaning what? What does it have?
Yeah,
It
so,
has a
like,
lot
you've
left.
opened it, but there's still a lot, right? There's not
Yeah.
just 3 marshmallows in this bag, or we wouldn't
Mhm.
say there's a lot left. So, clearly, it's been opened, but most of the marshmallows are still there, so this is how I would say that. "Oh, there's still a lot left."
Yes, I love it. And then what did you say, Aubrey? You said great.
Yes, I said, "I've got chocolate too," and you said, "I have graham crackers." That's what you put on the outside. It's like the
Yes.
bread of a s'more. It's a
Right.
cookie, really. And then you
Yeah.
say, "There's not a lot, but it should be enough." So, meaning
Yes.
there's not tons here, there's not many, there's not a lot, but enough.
Yeah, meaning there's not a lot of graham crackers, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
so just an yeah. Oh, man, this is getting me exciting for camping again. I'm
Yes.
ready. When are you going camping this summer? You have any camping?
Yes. We
Yes.
are camping, mid-July. We always
Yeah.
go on a camp out with my family up in Idaho, and we are roughing it, right? It's like a tent, no restrooms, like you're
Oh
digging a
my
hole in the woods
gosh.
somewhere,
Yeah,
so it's definitely
that's
not glamping.
that's what they call dispersed camping, right?
Mhm.
And I do that rarely, but sometimes it's pretty cool, but it's pretty intense.
It
right? It's
is, right? You're gonna be dirty and smelly, and you just have to be
yeah.
okay with it.
That's so fun. Yeah, I think we're going camping at the end of July is our first planned camping trip.
Nice.
It's gonna be car camping, not dispersed or not
No,
like, not no bathroom camping. I
right, a
like
little
having
less
bathrooms.
hardcore. It's nice to have a
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah, yeah, it is nice. But anyways, s'mores are obligatory if you're going camping. It's just a very much an American cultural tradition, right?
Yes, well, they're
Yes.
delicious. If you guys haven't tried one, it is
They're
high
so good.
time. Try a
Yeah. I
s'more
wonder
this
if our
summer.
listeners I wonder if our listeners would think they're too sweet. Probably, right?
Possibly. They
Because
are
our
very
snacks are
sweet.
So what's the takeaway for today? This is a really great topic. Great
Yeah,
episode.
for sure. Thanks for sending this question. We use a few and a lot extremely often in English. Like we told you, for all of these examples, this would be what we would choose, right? So definitely review those past episodes so you're clear on all of these quantity words because you do want to use them to connect in English. Don't put up that wall.
Yeah,
Use
don't put
this
up a wall.
more informal option that we would always go for.
Yeah, and we try to tell you guys when we've just done kind of a staple episode where you've just learned something that is going to be a staple of your
Mm,
language, and this would be one of them. This would be on that
yes.
list. A few and a lot. You hear it everywhere. You're going to start saying it all the time. And so you really want to re-listen today, get the app, use the app for this episode and just go deep here. Spend time on this topic. It's really key. Okay?
Absolutely. Yes. Glad we were able to cover this today, Lindsay. This is a fun one.
Yes, this
I'm
is a
going to go
good
get a
one.
s'more
Yeah, I know, with Reese's,
for
interesting.
lunch.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you
All
got to
right, I'll
try
talk to you
it.
soon, Aubrey. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.